Welcome in Mysterious World. If you like this video, please subscribe us. The Great Pyramids of Giza have filled our lives with mystery and wonder for generations. Centuries of scientists, explorers, archaeologists and many more have ventured to Egypt to inspect and analyze the mysteries of the massive structures. There are numerous ancient archaeological sites all over this planet that are without explanation. The Great Pyramids at Giza are a great example of this. The modern explanation, taught in ancient civilization classes within our educational institutions, is that they were built by human labor and ingenuity to be a tomb for the pharaoh Khufu, despite professional Egyptologists dismissing these claims time and time again. The Great Pyramid contains so many incredible facts that have led to questions that remain unanswerable till this day. Another interesting point to note is the fact that multiple pyramids, with multiple perplexing facts, were built all over the planet, at different time periods, by civilizations that had no contact with each other whatsoever. Million blocks of stone were used to build the pyramid that covers more than 13 acres of land. Most Egyptologists estimate between 2.3 and 2.6 million blocks of stone were used to build the Great Pyramid. It's important to keep in mind that it originally had an outer casing of white limestone blocks that were perfectly polished and fitted. For thousands of years, it looked like a gleaming, white structure like no other. Keep in mind, we are talking about structures that were built sometime between 10,500 BC and 3,500 BC. Over time, earthquakes and erosion were responsible for what we see today. What power could have moved these stones? Each stone has been estimated to weigh approximately between 2 and 20 tons each. Think about that. That's 2.5 million blocks of stone that weigh between 2 and 20 tons each. How did they cut the blocks with laser-like precision and fit them perfectly in place? How did they lift and transport the rocks from their original position? How did they move across the terrain, desert, water, and sand and then lift them on top of each other in order to build the pyramid? Even if the workers had achieved the impossible and unimaginable feat of 10 blocks piled up on top of each other a day, they would have assembled the 2.5 million stone blocks into the stone pyramid in about 250,000 days. That's 664 years. Not even long enough for the one whom it was supposedly built for to see its completion. It would be impossible to assemble enough men, even around a 9,000-pound stone that is perhaps only 3.5 feet by 3.5 feet, to lift this stone onto and off of a barge, and then to maneuver it in place on the pyramid would take 10 men, 3 on each side and 2 at each end. This placement means that each man, if all lifted equally, would be lifting 900 pounds. Obviously, such a miraculous display of strength not only seems impracticable, but impossible. These pyramids built by the Egyptians 4,000 to 4,500 years ago are one of the 7 wonders of the world. Building the Great Pyramids would require the use of millions of people, even that in my opinion it seems unfathomable. But the number of people is up for debate and differs among many. There would have had to have been a number of mathematicians, engineers, farmers, merchants, an army, slaves, and more involved. The point is, could they have lived on the Nile Delta? Think about it. World population at the time was only between 3 to 7 million. Again, think about the amazing craftsmanship that remains unmatched even till this day. Think about the total population of Earth at the time. The population of Egypt alone wouldn't have been enough. How would they have brought more people in? From where? How would they have housed them all? Fed them all? Transported them all? We know next to nothing about the how, why, and when of the building of the pyramid. An artificial mountain, some 490 feet high and weighing 6.5 million tons, stands there as evidence of an incredible achievement. They were also amazing geographers. Perhaps one of the greatest mysteries is the fact that the Great Pyramid is positioned exactly at the latitude and longitude lines that contain more land and less sea than any other place on Earth. It's right in the geographical center of the Earth. This fact alone, out of many, suggests that the builders also knew a great deal about the geography of our planet. It's hard to imagine they could complete all of this without some sort of aerial view. How this knowledge was obtained remains a mystery. Think about it. How is this possible? There is a meridian running through the pyramids that divides the continents and oceans into two exactly equal halves. How could this be done? Is this, as well as the Pi phenomenon, just a coincidence? Not only is the actual construction of the pyramids a great mystery, its mathematical, astronomical, and geographical significance and precision is even more of a mystery. I think it's also interesting to note that if you multiply the height of the pyramid by 1,000 million, you are left with 98 million miles, which corresponds approximately to the distance between the Earth and the Sun.